Scroll through the internet long enough, and you will eventually hit the theory that the creators of The Simpsons are either time travelers or elite deep state wizards. People believe this because the show's track record is incredibly difficult to ignore. In 1993, an episode featured a white tiger violently attacking a famous magician duo on stage. A full decade later, in 2003, Siegfried and Roy were attacked by their own white tiger during a performance in Las Vegas. A 1995 episode set in London showed a distinct, jagged, triangle-shaped skyscraper looming directly behind the Tower Bridge. The Shard building, which perfectly matches that description and location, wouldn't even begin construction until 14 years later. Then there's the 2001 episode showing a female U.S. president stepping into the Oval Office wearing a very specific purple suit and a pearl necklace. It is the exact outfit Kamala Harris wore to the 2021 inauguration. So we have to ask, are these simply the statistical anomalies of a television show that has been on the air for over 3 decades? Or is there an intentional pipeline of elite insider information feeding the writer's room? To figure out what's really happening, we need to completely discard the supernatural theories and first look at the cold, hard mathematics of comedy. In psychology, there is a concept called survivorship bias. It occurs when we focus heavily on the rare successes and completely ignore the thousands of invisible failures. The Simpsons has run for 36 years, producing over 800 episodes. With 8 gags per minute over a 20-minute runtime, that's over 1.2 million jokes. Fire off a million random darts, and probability guarantees a few will hit a real-world bullseye. But probability doesn't explain everything. Sometimes a successful prediction is born from simple, logical deduction. Take the Kamala Harris purple suit. In American politics, the major parties are red and blue. Historically, when a leader wants to project national unity, they blend those colors and wear purple. The show's writers simply recognized this historical pattern and applied it to a future scenario. While statistics and pattern recognition explain a lot of these hits, they fall completely short when you examine the highly specific geopolitical events the show has aired. Math is only half the story. To understand the other half, we have to look closely at who is actually writing these jokes. This is series creator Matt Groening. In the 1990s, Groening was a regular attendee at early TED conferences. These were highly exclusive, private gatherings where elite innovators and investors discussed emerging technologies years before the general public even knew they existed. His proximity to global power goes even further. Court documents from the Jeffrey Epstein files reveal that Groening traveled on Epstein's private jet. He was moving freely within the ultimate elite inner circles. Zoom out to the entire writing staff, and a massive demographic pattern emerges. The core team behind the show is heavily recruited from Ivy League institutions, specifically Harvard and Princeton. These specific universities are the exact same academic pipelines that produce Washington's top policymakers, economic strategists, and intelligence analysts. The writers of The Simpsons do not predict the future. They simply share the exact same social and academic ecosystems as the people who actively design it. If the idea of government strategy mixing with Hollywood comedy sounds like a stretch, look at the official record. There are dedicated departments inside the U.S. government, officially known as entertainment liaison offices. The Pentagon has actively collaborated with Hollywood for decades. They have directly supported and altered the scripts of over 800 feature films to ensure favorable depictions of the American military. The CIA operates a similar desk. They have a documented history of script meddling, aggressively reviewing screenplays and demanding the removal of scenes that might damage their public standing. The intelligence community even recruits television writers. The CIA hosts threat scenario workshops, bringing in creative fiction writers to imagine unpredictable, chaotic global events that traditional, rigid analysts might miss. This relationship forms the basis of a concept known as predictive programming. The theory suggests that upcoming geopolitical shifts or radical technological concepts are fed into pop culture to subconsciously normalize them for the public before they actually happen. The entertainment industry operates as an active, funded tool used by the state to soften the shock of future realities. We can see this pipeline between elite strategy and the real world at secret global summits like the Bilderberg meetings, where a highly restricted group of powerful individuals draft future global policies. In 1991, an ambitious politician named Bill Clinton attended a Bilderberg meeting. Soon after, he became the President of the United States. A couple of years later, Tony Blair followed the exact same trajectory, attending the exclusive meeting right before becoming the UK Prime Minister. When these groups met in the 1990s, they discussed the expansion of NATO into Eastern Europe, a full decade before it became a geopolitical reality. While the Simpsons writers might not receive classified memos outlining the next 20 years of foreign policy, they are breathing the same air, attending the same conferences, and hearing the same conversations as these global architects. Once you understand how this pipeline of information flows from elite think tanks directly to your television screen, you stop being a passive audience member. You become an observer, and an observer is much harder to manipulate.